Alexander.
And this is David Sweeney.
You're watching the #1 baseball talk show on YouTube. This is Mound Conference. Okay, first off today, we're going to get started off with the free agents who are still in the market. Some I'd like to name are Mike Napoli, Carlos Beltran, Robinson Cano, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shin-Soo Choo.
I think we should start with Napoli today. I think Napoli would be a good fit back with Texas. He's versatile, first base and catcher. They did acquire Prince Fielder, but again, they're in the AL, so they could have a designated hitter. So Napoli could play first base or could play catcher. He'd be an upgrade over Giovanni Soto or AJ Pierzynski.
Okay, another player would be Robinson Cano. We think he would also be a good fit with Texas. They just got rid of Ian Kinsler, who was an all-star second baseman, replacing him with another all-star second baseman. Cano, he's still young, and I think he can still produce RBIs and home runs. Won the home run derby a couple years back. I don't see why he can't do it again. And next we'll go with Jacoby Ellsbury. He's a big part of the Red Sox winning the World Series, and a couple years ago his fielding percentage was, I believe, .998 or 1,000, and he won Gold Glove back then. He's also a speed machine. He can do anything, with stolen bases.
And another good fit for the Red Sox would be Shin-Soo Choo. Shin-Soo Choo is getting older. He's in his 30s now, but he's still pretty quick, and he has a pop in his bat, and he drives a lot of runs. So he'd be a good replacement for Ellsbury if they can't re-sign Ellsbury.
Okay, I think that's going to conclude us with the free agency. For our next topic, we are going to be discussing who won the Prince Fielder and Ian Kinsler trade.
Now, Jake, I think the Tigers won this trade because they already have their power hitters, and they need a second baseman who has contact and speed. If he gets back to his all-star form, they could have an MVP. He has a power hit 30 home runs. He has a contact hit like 300. And he can also steal bases, and that's a valuable player, Jake, and that's why I think the Tigers won that trade. Now, what do you think?
Okay, I respect your opinion, except for I think the Rangers won. The Rangers simply need a power hitter in their lineup. Prince Fielder's the guy to do it. He's only 29 years old. He's in his prime. I feel like he's going to have another, good all-star 30, 40 home run season. They got rid of Kinsler, so because they have a very good second baseman prospect coming up. Or for this year, they can sign Robinson Cano for maybe 2-3 years, because he's a second baseman too. And I think the Rangers won that trade. And that concludes our topic for the Prince Fielder and Ian Kinsler trade.
A big story for the MLB this season was the breakout season of the Orioles' first baseman, Chris Davis. He slugged 53 home runs, smacked a solid .286 batting average, and drove in 138 runs. Will he have another season like that? Jake, what do you think?
I'm going to say he was too good to be real. Chris Davis, I never thought would be a 5-star potential player, but apparently he is. I don't think he'll have the same season he had last year. I think this year he'll still have about 90 RBIs. The home runs, he had 53 home runs. I just don't see it happening again. I'm going to say 25 to 30, and his batting average is going to drop too. He's going to get into some sort of slump or injury. I just don't see it happening again. I say he's going to bat maybe 250 to 260.
No, I disagree with you there, Jake. I think he's going to slug like 40 home runs, drive in a healthy 120 runs, and hit about like 290, and he'll have another good season like that.
Okay, that concludes our topic for back-to-back Davis. The next thing we're going to discuss today is a transaction that actually happened a couple hours ago. Brian McCann signed with the New York Yankees.
Now, Jake, do you think that's a good deal? $17 million a year for 5 years.
I think that's ridiculously insane. But it's, a usual deal for the Yankees. The Yankees, have an extremely high payroll. But just because he has a high contract doesn't mean it was a good deal. He only played 102 games last season. He gets injured constantly. 20 home runs. He does have some pop in his bat. 57 RBIs. I guess it's okay for the amount of games he played. But he only had 256 batting average. That's not going to help him. And he had his caught stealing percentage was 24%, which is average. And he is extremely slow.
Now, he is an improvement over the other catchers they have.
I can agree with that.
But I think they're paying him a little bit too much. Yet, he's only 29 years old. And by the end of the contract, he's going to be 34 years old. But he has an injury history that's outrageous. He gets hurt. He gets hurt all the time. So, if he can stay healthy, it'd be a good deal. But if he can't, then the Yankees just wasted a lot of money.
Okay, that's going to conclude our topic for the Brian McCann deal.
We're going to wrap up the debut episode of Mound Conference with the discussion of the best player in the game. Jake, who do you think it is?
Well, Dave, I've got to go with Paul Goldschmidt. First in home runs, tied with Pedro Alvarez. He had 36 home runs. First in RBIs, he had 125. First in slugging percentage, had 15 stolen bases. First in OPS. And he was also the first in game-tying hits / home runs. Sounds like hands down best player in the game.
Well, Jake, I do agree that Paul Goldschmidt is a very good player, but I'm going to have to go with Kutch. I'm wearing my Kutch jersey tonight. Well, he batted .317 with 21 homers and 84 RBIs. This guy's a speed demon. He steals 27 bases a season. He's a silver slugger. He's an all-star. He's also the MVP of the league. So what is there not to like about Andrew McCutchen? So that's why I'm picking Andrew McCutchen to be the best player in the game.
Very good argument, Dave. That's going to wrap up our first episode of Mound Conference. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you.